But I will show you how I do my studies, and maybe it'll help you, maybe it won't. I open first the parallel verse on BibleHub.com. And what that is we'll say it's John 3:16. It will be a parallel of every version that they have on BibleHub.com. It'll say, so God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son, that whoever believes in him should not perish but have everlasting life. And it'll give it the NIV. So God so loved the world that he gave his one and only son instead of only begotten. And it'll go down every single version, including Young's literal translation. It'll give you a couple Catholic Bibles. It'll give you the Darby version. It gives you 25 or 26 versions of that particular verse. And I read through all of them to see what changes are in there, and then I think through why. The second page I do, I've got about 12 pages open on my browser. The second one I do is to open up the Hebrew or Greek. In John 3:16, it would be Greek. And it's got all of the Greek right there, every single word in the Greek, and it'll have the several different Greek texts down below it. They'll have the Alexandrian text up on top, and down on the bottom they'll have the Textus Receptus, and the several of them, 5 or 6 of them, the Tischendorf or whatever. They're all listed down there, and so you've got to be able to read the Greek with those. The other ones, it's broken down word by word, and you've got the strong number. If you want to click on the word, it'll take you there, and it'll give you an analysis of it. It'll give you the BDB analysis of it, which is the Briggs, Driver, Brown, not concordance. It's anyway, it's like a concordance, but it's a word study, and it gives you all their information. It gives you the NAS word study. So you've got all you need from the Greek and the Hebrew right there on that page. First the parallel, then you've got the Hebrew, and then the next page that I will open is the commentary, the main commentary page. And that'll have about 10 different commentators of that particular verse. John Gill will be one of them, and it'll have the Geneva Bible, which is usually very short, of the Pulpit Commentary, and the Cambridge, and you'll have all of these people. But that's not all of the commentators, because some of them won't fit on that page, like Adam Clarke. They have on a separate page. So I'll open a page for Adam Clarke, and then I'll open a page for John Lang, and I'll open a page for Keil and Delitzsch, German people that did a commentary. It's in English, but they originally did their commentary in German. So I'll open all of these pages, and then what I will do is I will sit down and read every word that those people have to say about those. Even if I'm convinced that I know what this verse is saying, I'm still going to read their commentaries, because you can gain valuable insights even from people being wrong. We see that in our sermons. I quote Cambridge from the Old Testament. They're so liberal. Everything they say is absolutely wrong. And yet they have insights that will help you, believe it or not, to understand that passage that these other guys have never even thought of. So it's worth reading even bad commentaries. You don't want to dismiss somebody don't dismiss John Calvin just because he's, crazy. Read his commentary, and that's also on there, John Calvin. Okay? Very infrequently will and I shouldn't say John Calvin's crazy, but his theology is really wrong in some special points. But he's got some good insights in other points. So anyway, this is what you want to do. If you really want to know the intent of what you're looking at, like this verse right here that we're looking at, 1:9, Galatians 1:9, study it. And it's going to take you, if you do a thorough study of that one verse, it may take you an hour or 2 hours just to study it without even starting to write your own commentary. But you will now have an idea of what is going on in all of these people's heads. And guess what they have done? They have done their analysis based on, they did it without computers, on scholars of their past. And so they have built on the knowledge of other people. And at times, they will quote somebody else. They'll quote somebody from 200 years before them. And it'll go back, and it'll go back. And so you have literally on one page, even though you don't have all the information, you have the knowledge of 2,000 years worth of church history. So that is what I would recommend. Let me go back to my life application now, because you know what I do, okay? And I won't go any further than that. That's enough for the studies. I do other things for the studies, but BibleHub.com is enough to give you a well-rounded bit of information. If you come across a difficult passage in Scripture, there's a whole host of sound resources that you can refer to. You can go to Logos, you can go to Blue Letter Bible. All of these have commentaries as well. I like BibleHub because it's very easy to use, and it's got all the information I need. It's got the Hebrew, it's got the explanation of the Hebrew, it's got all of the roots of the Hebrew, going back to the primitive root that it originally came from. That will give you information that you're not going to ever find anywhere else. It's good to have. What
sources here?
Yeah, many. She's got it right there. It's open, and she says there's just all kinds of stuff. One other thing that I will add in. I'll tell you what I do. I have the HAW, H-A-W, HAW Theological Word Book of the Old Testament. It doesn't, I can't get it on the internet. I suppose you could, but you probably have to pay for it. But I have a copy of it, a hard copy, and I always refer to that with difficult words. Okay. And so I have to get out the HAW and I got to sit there and read all about it. And it's a little difficult to use at first. You have to understand how they organize the words. But once you got it, it's very easy. But the HAW Theological Word Book of the Old Testament will give you great insights into the meaning of words, the use of words. It's kind of like Vincent's Word Studies, except it's Old Testament instead of New. And it's a wonderful resource. So